What's up, TM Nation? Today I'm going to introduce you to a pair of earbuds that have been glued to my ears for the past 2 weeks. These are the brand new Soundcore Liberty 5s. Now, active noise canceling earbuds are nothing new, but if you're looking for a pair of earbuds that are actually geared towards blocking out human voices, these may be the game changers that you've been looking for. They officially dropped today on May 7th for $129.99, and I can tell you that I put them through all of their paces to see if they live up to the hype. Let's go ahead and dive in to see what makes them special. Before I take a deep dive into the details, let me hit you with the key specs. The Liberty 5s feature adaptive ANC 3.0 with a 2 times stronger reduction compared to the Liberty 4 NC. They're packing Dolby audio support, 9.2mm wool paper diaphragm drivers with dual bass enhancing tubes, 6 built-in mics with AI tuning that is aimed at focusing on your speech even when you're in louder environments. And they also offer an impressive up to 12 hours of use on a charge without ANC. If you choose to use them with ANC on, that's going to be closer to 8, but counting the extra charges that you'll get with the case, you can get a total usage of about 48 hours. But if that's not enough, these do feature wireless charging with the case and fast charging at that will give you up to 5 hours of use from only a 10-minute charge. They're also packing an IP55 dust and water resistance rating, so if you're looking for something you can use for exercise, these won't be damaged if you happen to get caught out in the rain wearing them or if you sweat heavily during your workouts. As far as what you'll get inside of the box, you'll get your charging case, of course, the earbuds themselves, a USB Type-C cable for charging, and 5 different sets of ear tips to ensure that you're able to get the perfect fit. And I do want to mention that you have an array of different colors with these available. They come in ink black, cloud white, which is what I picked up, abyss blue, and rose apricot. The case has a nice matte finish that does not attract fingerprints, which is always a plus, and I like the fact that it's small and compact enough for me to throw in my pocket without it bulging out too much. The earbuds themselves feature the stem design, as you can see, which is similar to the AirPods in that a lot of different companies have adopted over time, and I'm typically not a huge fan of this design like I've said in the past, but the implementation with these in particular is fine for me because it makes the earbuds easier to put in and take out of my ears. I also like the fact that they're lightweight, coming in at only about 6 grams each, and I've been able to use them for hours at a time without getting any ear fatigue or discomfort. And another thing that I know a lot of people out there are gonna like are the fact that these do not use touch controls, they use squeeze controls, which are less prone to accidental activation. Now let's get into what makes these earbuds special, and that's gonna be their signature feature, which is the voice reduction. That's where these really shine. Soundcore has designed these with a unique acoustic cavity and intelligent noise canceling algorithms that specifically target human voices in the 300 to 3000 hertz range. And like I said earlier, according to their tests, these are supposed to offer twice the voice reduction performance compared to the Liberty 4 NCs, which were solid when they came out. Last week I did test these out in a local Starbucks where there were multiple conversations happening around me, and the difference definitely was noticeable. And I will say that they don't completely eliminate voices, which is something that I don't think any pair of earbuds can do right this second, but the Liberty 5s did significantly reduce the voices going on around me to the point that they were barely audible and much less distracting. So if you happen to work or study in public spaces, this feature alone might be worth the price of admission for your needs. The Liberty 5s feature what Soundcore calls ANC 3.0, which continuously monitors your environment and recalibrates the noise cancellation every 0.3 seconds. And what that means is that these earbuds are going to constantly monitor what's going on around you and adapt based on your surroundings. During my testing, the ANC did perform well against constant low frequency noises such as air conditioners and fans buzzing. Now, I'm not going to say that it's quite at the level of higher end Sony or Bose flagship earbuds, but it's impressive for earbuds at this price point, especially when you combine it with the voice reduction technology. Moving on to the sound quality, like I mentioned in the intro, these feature 9.2mm wool paper diaphragm drivers paired with dual bass enhancing tubes, which is a combination that delivers a balanced sound profile with detailed mids and highs along with punchy but controlled bass. For me, the bass response is particularly impressive with these earbuds, especially for the size. I don't know if it's more about the tuning or if it's the bass tubes that make the bass response with these so apparent, but these are for sure some of the better sounding earbuds that I've tried recently, with the way that they can sneak up on you at times with that deep punch and rumble that you typically don't get out of earbuds. And I also like the fact that you can achieve really good clarity across the frequencies as well. Even in cases where I did go ahead and max out my bass settings, they still maintained a nice level of balance, with the highs and mids still being clearly audible and not drowned out. I will talk a little bit more about EQing these in just a moment, but the way that I have mine set up, the highs are crisp without being too sibilant. But I did notice when I first got these earbuds and I was testing out just how loud they got, that there was some harshness whenever I bumped them up to about 85% of the max volume, especially on some of the tracks that I tested with lots of high frequency content. I do want to highlight that the Liberty 5s are Soundcore's first pair of earbuds to feature Dolby 3D audio, and they offer 3 different modes, which are music, movie, and podcasts. The movie mode in particular adds a noticeable sense of spaciousness to the sound, making it feel like you're in a theater rather than listening through a pair of earbuds. This past weekend, I used them to watch The Equalizer, and the difference was substantial in terms of being right in the middle of the action. The dialogue was centered, while ambient sounds felt like they were coming from all around me. I don't like it for music because it gives off an echoey and airy type of sound signature, but for movies and shows, it is good for immersion. So now let me take you through how these perform for me during real world usage, because I've used these for everything. I did use them for some slight video editing, some mobile gaming, and I also took them on travel with me as well. Commuting, the combination of ANC and voice reduction made my walk through the shopping mall a lot more peaceful. The typical sounds that you hear throughout the stores and people talking as they walk by me were pretty much non-existent. For workouts, even though they don't have any ear hooks or wings, they stayed in place relatively well. During my 30-minute jump rope session, I only had to reposition them once or twice, which is extremely rare for me with this style of earbud. The stem controls were also easy to use, even with sweaty fingers. With just a simple squeeze, I was able to easily pause and play my music or change tracks if I needed to. For voice calls, like I said earlier, these are using a total of 6 built-in mics, 3 in each earbud, and they also pair that with an AI algorithm that's aimed at focusing on your speech even when you're in louder environments. As always, I did take some samples just so that you guys can judge the quality for yourselves. Let's check them out. Alright guys, so right now I have the earbuds paired to my iPhone 16 Pro, and as you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphones on them. Right now the room is relatively quiet, but I am going to do my background noise test in just a moment. Give me a second. And now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background, and this part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphones on these earbuds can go ahead and focus on my speech while rejecting some of that noise. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think they're doing a pretty good job? Were you expecting better? Let me know. The Liberty 5s support LDAC and high-res wireless audio certification, which means that you do have the ability to enjoy higher quality audio streams if your device supports these codecs. In addition, they do use Bluetooth 5.4 for a stable connection, and since I did the out-of-the-box firmware update, I have experienced no audio dropouts during my testing. As far as the companion app experience goes, it has been solid for me so far, offering customizable controls, EQ settings, and Hear ID sound, which creates a personalized sound profile based on your hearing. You can also use the app to locate your earbuds if you misplaced them, toggle on or off the low latency gaming modes, and access your ANC and transparency mode settings as well. I also want to circle back on the battery life, because they did say that you can get up to 12 hours of use on a charge with these earbuds, and that number is going to be without ANC, and if you choose to use them with ANC on pretty much the whole time, you'll get about 8. I can tell you that I used them with ANC on pretty much the whole time for my testing, and I was able to get about 7 hours and 45 minutes out of them, playing them at between 50 and 75% of the max volume most of the time. Now let me break down what I like about these earbuds and what I think can be improved. And first I'm going to start with the pros, which are the voice reduction technology that actually works and makes a noticeable difference if you have a bunch of different voices going on around you. Next is going to be the sound quality. These are really balanced. They provide detailed sound with good bass response too. The Dolby audio adds a new dimension to movies and music. They offer excellent battery life and fast charging. They're comfortable in the ears for me to wear for extended use. They're IP55 dust and water resistant. I do like the expanded stem controls that include camera control and call muting. And they also do get really loud. In fact, they get louder than I was expecting. I haven't felt the need to push them to the max volume since I got them, as 75% for me has been more than enough even during workouts. Now for the cons, I will say that the ANC is good, but it's not the best in class. Also, if you're going to be creating your own custom EQ, you do have to be careful with how much you bump the highs up, because if you do push them to the max, they can become quite harsh and sibilant. At $129.99, the Liberty 5s are positioned in the mid-range of the true wireless earbud market, but when you compare them to the competitors like the JBL Tune Beam 2, which cost about $99, the Beats Studio Buds, which come in at $149, or the Bose QC earbuds that come in at around $179, these do offer a compelling package, especially if voice reduction is important to you. If you're interested in picking these up, they officially dropped today on May 7th, and you can use the Liberty 5 off code for a $10 discount plus a Liberty 5 case that you can throw them in when you're on the go. But let me know in the comment section if you're looking at picking a pair of these up, or even if you're not, let me know what your favorite all-time pair of Soundcore earbuds are, because I'm curious to see what all you guys are rocking out there in terms of earbuds.